When did you guys open up?
2013 is officially when we started.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the JSD is my daughters, Giselle, Sophia, Demi.
I was going to ask.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So people ask that. Yeah. So
that's really cool.
We talked about having more kids. So I was just going to have to start another business, I guess, to whatever, for whatever their names are going to be. Yeah. So I guess kind of, we started in 2013. I had a few Sprint cell phone stores, one at Clearview Mall here in Butler, Monroeville Mall, South Hills Village Mall. Long story short, we got shut down, pulled our contract. It was horrible. It's probably the darkest place of my life. Not that old. I'm 35, but but I had a brand new baby. The D of JSD Supply was just born, and I had nothing. I was in debt from that. I was standing in the hospital, not even I couldn't be excited. I was excited that I just had a third daughter, but it wasn't as exciting as it should have been, because I had this glooming awfulness, So anyhow, so I got a job after that, because, you still have to pay bills and support your new family. And that I was selling semi trucks, randomly got this job. And, I knew from day 2 that it wasn't for me.
Okay.
But I had to do something. So it paid. So I ended up doing that for 5 years. But as I was in that, I was paying down all my debt. And I decided that I needed to continue doing something for myself. I had to work for myself. I just couldn't work for anybody. I mean, I could work for somebody else. I had to, but it's not what I wanted to do. So I started thinking, cell phones. I was in the cell phone industry for about 7 or 8 years, and I really knew that really well. And I thought, well, you make more margin on accessories, and I don't have that much money. I'm in debt like crazy, and I have $5 a week extra. I thought, well, I can get back into accessories, maybe. I don't know. So I started, what do I like? What wouldn't be work for me? Well, I like guns. Let's start looking at guns. Well, I hate paperwork, so I don't want to be a gun shop because there's tons of paperwork.
Sure.
Well, accessories have large margins, so let me start with accessories. So I started looking. Any of the name brand stuff you can't really make a ton of money on. And so I stumbled across 80% lower receivers. And so we started looking at that. I ended up selling, I had some old cell phones, sold some of those to get some money on Craigslist or whatever, Facebook, and started buying and selling iPads to try to get more money to get my first buy-in for the product. And I ended up meeting a guy that manufactured 80% and finishing jigs and some other things. And so I told him, I said, listen, man, I don't have a lot of money. I need to make an order. I kind of need it to be at the top tier price, but I can't order top tier volume. Can you kind of help me out? So we talked for a while, and he ended up helping me out a lot. I saved up, I don't know, a few $100s here or there. Went to our first gun, sold a few online first, just to try it out, get a little bit more money. Went to my first gun show. And I want to say we sold out of whatever we had. It wasn't a ton, but it was a few $1,000s.
Sure. Whoops. Oh, you're fine.
So it was probably a few $1,000s, at our first show. And I'm like, this is insane. This is crazy. This is exactly what I want to do. So we just kind of gone from there, piled all the money back into it. I didn't spend a dime. Just kept flipping it back into the business. So I worked selling trucks and doing guns for, I think it was 4 years. I worked full time as an outside sales rep selling semi trucks to businesses. And then at night I'd come home and do inventory.
Right.
I'd try to figure out how to do a website, which I didn't know what I was doing at all.
While having
JSD. all three of them.
While having the other ones.
Right. Plus a wife.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We don't want to discount that. Yeah, that's right.
So it was very hectic for 4 years. Yeah, I just worked.
Yeah.
If I was awake, I was working. Weekends we do gun shows. So you leave Friday night to go to a show, stay at a hotel, set up, sell Saturday, Sunday, drive home, get ready for work on Monday.
Isn't that almost necessary though for opening your own business or being a self starter like yourself? You have to grind for a while.
Absolutely.
You just need to.
Yeah, and it really doesn't ever end. It just changes. Yeah. So I still work all the time. I just change the hours that I'm working. So if I'm home and the girls have a softball game or cheerleading or something, that's what I'm doing instead of, I guess, my other job that I would have had. But you have to grind, and you have to do it more than the next guy, and you have to just push through it and keep going because somebody else is doing it. So it better be you.
Do you feel like you grew in that period where it was the toughest for you financially, but even trying to figure out your time and having kids and trying to build these businesses? Do you feel like you grew mentally and personally more in that period than other periods in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the worst thing I hope it's the worst thing I'll ever have to go through in my life.
Sure.
But I grew so much out of it spiritually, financially, relationships. I have a great work ethic, I think, but even more so now, I can focus my time now on what needs to be done and really prioritize stuff, because you just didn't have time to do everything. So you have to prioritize what you're doing. So now that I have more time, not enough time ever, but more, I can focus more on what I'm doing and get the most out of what I'm doing. So yeah, you learn a ton through your failure. You hear it all the time. I learn way more from failing than I do at succeeding. It's true. And it's terrible.
I know. I know. They're the best lessons in the worst way, right?
Yeah. It's awful. Yeah. But it was a total reset for me for business. Like I said, we took out a ton of debt for the Sprint stores. And that's just how people do business. You just take out a loan, or you just get a credit card, or you just do this. Well, from that point on, I set out that we're just never going to take out debt.
Good for you, man.
So this business has been all on cash.
Yeah.
We've had some huge purchases or huge tooling expense, and it's like, man, that's a lot of money, but I could go get a loan. The bank will give me a loan. It's no big deal, but I'm just going to try to figure out how to pay for it. And then that's what we've done. The only loan we've taken since then has been for our building that we're in now. But we ended up paying that off in less than a year. And if I didn't do that, it was either work out of my house and not grow at all, or go rent something for almost the same price as I'm paying this mortgage, and I'll have it paid off in a year.
Right.
So we did take out a loan on that, but like I said, less than a year actually. 11 months.